Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
Okay, I'm here with my fellow stream junkie, fellow binge buddy, Bashti.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, we're gonna give this series a shot to counteract all the what I like to call them woke police or wokenators crying about woke when there's little there, making constant videos, and we're gonna react. We're gonna do a mad reaction. You're gonna follow this madman on a reaction to a Geeks Plus Gamers video with the Cringe Man. We're gonna see what if we can get. Now this isn't just a bash on him, but it's gonna see does he have a point or is he spinning his wheels doing the same talking points for 2 years? Oh my God! I think that's what's happening here. And yes, we're gonna get some more eyes on it. Also, rest in peace, Lunga's back. but he still might want to stream a little bit. So we got Mladen Kuluk's in here. Say hi to people in the chat while I tweet out this link here.
Oh, goodness. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that.
Well, if you're a guest, I wish they gave that option in StreamYard, but they don't let guests highlight comments, so you just have to look at the live comments.
Let's take a look, because I was like 20 behind. Hold on. Yeesh. Let me see. I see Bianca fights the zombies. I see an Aloha. Levon. Hello. Deadpool was good. Let's see. Lots to talk about Deadpool. Oh boy. Let's see. Something about Hans. Goodness. Smash that like button. Do as you're told. Thank you, Snowdub. Let's see. So what's going on with Miles Morales? Okay. All right. Well, hello, everybody. Let me catch up on what just came in. Hello. Goldman asked, are you reacting to Geeks and Gamers? It looks like we are. CGH says, if anything, Spider-Gwen is woke. Good thing I'm hiding my Barbie dolls. Oh, no, it's Bosch G. Max bringing it controversial. Oh, no.
Why is Bosch controversial? I don't know. I think she can add a lot to this conversation. I know she's got the fire. I've seen it. I've become a friend to her recently. She could bring it even harder than she does on live streams. You don't even know.
Yeah.
She's gonna be nice enough though. We're gonna be nice here.
It's gonna sound nice.
Yeah. Michael S has a hot take. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is bad. I told my viewers to come in with the hot takes. I like you speaking your mind, but I disagree. I love that movie. Miles Morales is one of the characters that gets a lot of people commenting on in this community that is against social justice characters in comics, but he's one of the most successful. There's a lot of people that like Miles Morales. And that's part of the video we're going to react to is Cringe Man getting upset about an article. All right. CJH is here. Yeah, I'll still talk to you, CJH. I talk to everybody. Phobic Xeno's throwing some heat out.
Everybody's entitled to an opinion. It's fine.
All right. Phobic Xeno's another madman, I think.
Oh, goodness.
I'm getting some pushback. Relapse. A live stream during the Super Bowl. Sorry, Max. As much as I love you, I'm going to be watching the Niners win. Hopefully.
Uh-oh. Wrong side of wrong side of history, my friend. But you go ahead.
I'm not really rooting for anyone. I'm going to probably watch just so I can see some new movie trailers, but I don't know what. But I don't. Supreme Dalek. I like Miles Morales. He's very cool in Spider-Verse. Okay.
Yes.
So let's take a look at the thumbnail to see what the woke police, what I like to call them, are whining about this week. What's there to whine about? And we're Gray Order, but we could still call out BS when we see it. Here's the what's happening. Cringe man bad. We'll get to that into the video. But Miles Morales is replacing Peter Parker in the MCU. Oh no!
Oh, and this is news to me.
And it's so woke this weekend, woke, that even woke characters are getting replaced. Black Panther is being replaced by his sister, apparently. No, I didn't look too much into that one. And the Birds of Prey scandal. Why aren't they releasing the reviews? Why are the social media reactions so positive? They have to be hiding. If you go woke, you go broke. Don't you know that? All right. So those are the talking points. Let's watch another video.
Okay.
All right. See what we can. This is an investigation. Does he have a point? Or is he recycling points from 2 years ago? Oh, we'll find out. And then we are planning to go on Lunga's stream after this.
That is going to happen.
We got to be nice to him and take care of his back. Kitten has to help him there. Take care of the binge buddy. Send love to the binge buddy Lunga.
It's true. Send lots of cookies.
All right. I got to remember to share audio. You haven't watched this Cringe Man before, have you?
I don't think so. I'm okay. So like, let me explain.
Okay.
So the only way that I knew that there was even like a Star Wars fandom and like, you know, like a Star Wars like underworld or like whatever, was because like, you know, when I was watching like weird like mukbang videos and like people, you know, like building like entire like apartments out of mud like in the middle of the Amazon because it would help me sleep, I would always get interrupted with like Jeremy's like really like intense like Geeks and Gamers like ads for his channel. I'm just like, oh my god. And it's
he has ads for his channel?
It used to be like that like a couple of years ago, and so like I just always would like I would know like right away, like when that video, because it would like wake me up out of my sleep. And I'm just like, no, it's so like literal, like, no, please. But that's the most I know about Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers is I just like remember him being a guy that streamed out of his garage. And that was just kind of the aesthetic there. So
his pool house.
Or that thing. Sorry.
He's taking a back seat to this Cringe Man, Josiah. Really recycling old talking points. Is this revolutionary takes on the entertainment industry? I don't think so. We're going to take a look at it now. Going to add it here. Make sure, let me know if you hear everything. Let's get this started. Hold on a second. Going to make it bigger here.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
I tell you what, it's really sad to see Marvel continue to go down this path of wokeness. They're completely infected by it at this point, and it's just going to continue to get worse. So we have here the possibility of Peter Parker.
The possibility. It's an infection already. Do you see an infection in the MCU? This is a sickening exaggeration of what's going on in the movies. Yes, they brought in Black Panther. Yes, they brought in Captain Marvelous, and I was not a fan of Brie Larson. I have become a fan just the way she triggers these fools on the internet. I'm serious.
It's so true. It's so true.
I call her Captain Marvelous now. She owns these fools, and this is why they do this type of stuff, is to trigger people on the internet for free marketing. It's very easy. Especially when it's close to release. So there's also I'll get to the Ewan McGregor comments later. So let's keep going. See if the cringe man has a point in this video, or is it just a video to exist for video's sake and clicks?
Mhm.
And I think that's my. Oh boy.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm not trying to encourage, but that's hilarious.
Tom Holland being replaced by Miles Morales in the MCU in the near future. And
near future,
I'm sick of this. I am so sick of Marvel's trying to find ways to always up the ante with the identity politics, because I just covered this last week or earlier this week, where we see the possibility of T'Challa, Black Panther, being replaced by, Shuri in the future as the new Black Panther. And why? Like, why are we already at that point where Marvel's like, oh, we got to do whatever we can to show just how woke we are. So let's
no. You give them the benefit of the doubt what they built for the MCU. The MCU has other problems that I feel, but overly woke, that is an extreme exaggeration. The comics have had some issues, I believe, but I've also heard from I got sources on the 2nd Street Marvel that say Marvel and DC are not as bad as communities online like to say they are just for clicks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's extreme exaggeration. And we've had a lot of Spider-Man. Miles Morales is a beloved character, and they're not just replacing Peter Parker. He's a different character. Of course, he's related to Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse, but why not see what they're going to do with him? And at that point, by the time they ease him in, if they do, because Sony still owns Miles Morales too, I believe, because he's related to Spider-Man, which I have my doubts of the validity of this article to begin with, because the Sony and MCU contract is not that solid as it is. They always have to renegotiate just for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee this happening to begin with. So let's really get to the meat of it here. This article exists for the clicks, and your reaction exists for the clicks, and there's little to nothing there. Probably won't happen, and even if it does, doesn't everyone deserve the benefit of the doubt here for a character that's actually gaining in popularity after Into the Spider-Verse?
I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings.
Okay.
I love representation. Like, like I was one of the people that that gets called out all the time, that in game, when it's all the female superheroes, and they're just coming in and they're just kicking ass, and it's just they're all looking just flawless, and their hair's just blowing in the wind, and it's just oh, look at me just slaughter while I'm fucking full glamour. I
love that
because
okay.
I was just it was so ridiculous, and that was just kind of the I don't know, homage to just how escapist, I use that word a lot, comic books are supposed to be. It's just supposed to sometimes be a caricature on reality, and it's just they wanted and I totally respect that, but I laughed at it and I loved it for the sake of just what it was, just for the same reason that in the Archie comics, Betty never really gets Archie, you know what I'm saying? You don't just hate Betty, because that whole chase is essential, to the character. You just learn to laugh at the fact that is just essential to who she is. So it's just sometimes comic books portrayals of female characters are really ridiculous and over-sexualized and glamorous. And so it was just kind of funny, hello ambassador, to see that kind of seeing that homage, but just like also having like that suspension of, you know, disbelief where I'm just like, oh my God, this is so hilarious. Like, I love this. And, just to have that, and it's just like, I don't want that in every film. I'm not saying that like they should develop an entire plot line about it. I just think that it was an opportunity for them to make fun of themselves, experiment with, like a what if we just had like a whole female fight for force, like, and just, go there. And sorry, I'm reading Michael S.'s comment. I only didn't like that scene because they would never all be in the same place at one time. Also, Black Widow should have been there if they were going to do that. Totally valid argument. I get it. Like I said, I acknowledge the full humor in the scene. I acknowledge how absolutely ridiculous it was, but it was just, like, I still loved it. I loved it.
Here's why I like Vashti a lot. Now, a lot of people think it's cringy, but if it gets people excited, I can see why a woman viewer would like that and be excited about it. If you see a genuine opinion that likes it, how can you not take her opinion as valid and say, yeah, can we give up like a minute of a movie for people that want to see it? I mean, it's not the whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not the whole space. And that's exactly my point, is it's just like, I do not expect diversity to take up the entire Marvel space. I mean, although Marvel made attempts very early on in its conception, to provide social commentary, like, I don't inherently, that's what they're supposed to be. They're just supposed to comment on history as it's created, and they're just staying relevant, so it's just like there are women and African American, and, well, I guess Wakandan in this particular case, but imaginary African country lineage, people that, are going to, take not necessarily like the forefront, but, there is going to be some exploration, of their framing and like how they experience things, because their visibility is relevant, and it's foolish to, exclude, like long-term, like potential generational investments, because you just don't want to give people a character that they can relate to, like, I love Thor, what I'm saying, and how just absolutely much of like a diva, he is, and how entitled he is, but it's just like, I don't like relate to him though, like, I'm not like 5,000 years old, and it's just like, I don't like murk people with an axe, and I'm not, like an Asgardian prince. It's just like hard to relate, but still love the character, still appreciate what he contributes, so it's just like, if they want to explore, like secondary characters, or like one shots and like Marvel, or just like secondary storylines, just for the sake of diversity, so they can get generational investment. I mean, sorry, that's just a really good move on Disney's part, and it's like,
right. And also we have to work together.
Yeah, and
there's no winning either side.
Yeah.
Now, Sith Lord says forced diversity is trash, organic is fine. Who are you to judge that every time, though? Who are you to say what's organic and what's forced? Yes, there have been movies that have done forced. My opinion is The Last Jedi. So some of the characters were introduced there. In my opinion, they were a little forced at the expense of the OG characters. Yeah. But it's this talking point is blown out of proportion to every single movie. I wasn't a fan of that Endgame scene that you talked about, but I'm not hating it on it either. And if it takes up a minute of a film and you're saying eliminate completely, we are never getting to that point. We are never getting to that point. It only makes sense. And even though I have issues about the MCU, the way it's going, introducing new characters or even diversity characters, when it's done right is not my issues with it. It's just the writing, and that some of them are very similar, the films, and then they're not pushing the special effects. It's sometimes it goes too much with the humor in every single movie to the point where it takes away from some other things, is my issues with the MCU.
And I just want to acknowledge Tricon's comment, buzzword, entitled buzzword. I do mean socioeconomical entitlement. He acts like someone who is very privileged from a perspective of wealth. I do not mean that based on ethnicity. Very important distinction, but I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's more what I mean, is that he just kind of acts like a spoiled brat and not necessarily, like based off of any, place of like where he's located, just based on the fact that he's insanely wealthy and his father was a warlord. Just
okay, here's Bianca fights the zombies. I like you, brother, but this comment's kind of BS. How does that make sense about where Wakanda, and even in the comics, comes from?
Wait, where is that?
Wakanda needs more Chinese, Irish, Germans, and French. How does that make sense? If it's, I don't know.
Well, like, can you develop on why? Like, I just like why? Because
he's trying to throw the representation argument on its head there with Wakanda needs more representation of other. Okay.
Let's play with it then. Like I'll go there. You know what I'm saying? So if you could find a way, because I'm all about organic integration, so if you can find a way to integrate Chinese, Irish, German, and French interests into Wakanda, the first thing that comes to mind would be technology. Another thing would be some kind of energy discord. I'm saying I could, it's totally possible, that, but I'm not going to say that there's a need, it's just, unless it becomes relevant, and their interest to represent those specific ethnicities in that Wakandan universe. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be very diplomatic about this, but I'm also drinking a lot of sake because my team is playing. So,
I like Matt Jarbo's comment here. We live in a diverse world. There's nothing wrong with showing diversity on screen. The more people push back against it, the more I actually root for it. I've got to this point too, where I thought it was an annoyance at the beginning, and now I see how people cry about it, how they're snowflakes about it. And that's where I decided to make this series, that this week in woke, because I'm actually rooting. I mean, not that I wasn't rooting for it before, but I'm like, those ways people absolutely lose their shit over this stuff. And this is the one talking point. And then getting to Levon Media, thanks Kathleen Kennedy for pissing us a lot of Star Wars fans, including the ones you're aiming for. Is the diversity the problem with the Star Wars sequel? Even if you're a fan of it, I don't think so. I think it was lack of a plan. Even if you like it, you can.
I agree. You know what? Like, I just want to like clear the record. Like, I am not a Kathleen Kennedy fan. There's a right and there's a wrong way, to inject diversity and representation into a fantasy universe and a fantasy space, like Star Wars. She fucked up, and I'll take an L on that. Sorry, Max. I know you're trying to she messed up real bad on manufacturing opportunities of diversity. I am one of the biggest advocates against Kelly Marie Tran's bullying, but I do not, in a way, keep that same energy defending her placement in the film. It doesn't, just because she was poorly written and injected into the film is not right, and it is not a reason to inject, racial or, body image, like identity politics. It's not right to like project that onto her. She was an actress hired to do a job. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like there was a way, to do it right. Kathleen didn't do it right. She didn't set the rules as a leader. She let her creatives kind of like take the lead. And I'm sorry, Rian Johnson, his perspective, on how to be diverse and how to represent diversity in the Star Wars universe is wrong. It was wrong. The film was incredible for a lot of other reasons, but it was not incredible for the diversity and the identity politics. The things that it paid homage to cinematically, visually, the film is very stimulating, but like, again, it wasn't done correctly. So,
all right. Well, I don't want to. This is some great conversation, Vashti. We need to have you back on or continue this on your channel sometime this week, and I'll come on with you. But I got some behind the scenes. I think we're a little bit late. Manga's going to start soon, so let's get back to this video. Let's play it out.
Let's
play. And then we're going to hop over to Lungas, and it's our fault because the conversation's just been great. That's what stopped it. All right, hold on.
Continue to push out anybody who isn't intersectional enough for us and continue to replace them with people that are filling the quota for wokeness. And I can't believe that we are talking about
Tom Holland
being replaced in the MCU
because you don't know anything about it.
Now, I love Miles Morales. I think he's a great character. I thought that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was an amazing movie. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. It was a great movie, and Miles Morales is a great character. But why do we need to continue to replace people with people that are more in line with the intersectional wokeness of Hollywood? Why do we need to continue to do this? So this is coming from an insider, apparently, like an actual Hollywood insider.
Oh, an actual
industry
source.
Insider, Daniel Rickman, who says, love where the MCU is headed diversity-wise. We had an all-white 6 Avengers at first, but down the line, we'll get a black Captain America, Sam, Spider-Man, Miles, and Captain Marvel, Monica, Asian with Shang-Chi and Cersei, and Muslim with Miss Marvel and Blade. And of course, everyone's freaking out, and they're losing their minds, and they're going, oh my gosh, Marvel is the best, they're so woke, look how amazing Marvel is, they're so in touch with society.
Oh my God.
Is that how I sound?
No, I guess that's his impression of you. Now that you know people exist like Vashti and me, I'm rooting for it now too because I'm tired of this stuff. I'm not against these characters. I've looked into it. I think they are good characters. A lot of the spin is that they're garbage characters. Miles Morales is a great character. I'm not sold on Captain Marvel yet. I like Captain Marvelous, Brie Larson, because I see what she does. She has built a career off of free advertising. All she has to do is tweet out a picture of her with her arm around C-3PO and say, did someone say Star Wars? And the internet loses their mind.
It's so true. I love it so much.
Vashti, don't you want that power?
I live for that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's my total kink, y'all. Just like, all I have to do is just breathe. And it's just like, oh my God.
That's why I become a fan. I want that power.
It's like, I want that power, but then I also want like really good proximity to like Mark Hamill, because like all I want is just like Mark Hamill to just like adopt me. Please adopt me, Mark Hamill, as like your daughter.
We do have to get going because he has started now. Okay, so let's finish this video.
All right, we got.
Oh wait, I pressed play on his video. Oops.
Okay.
All right,
we have 3.5 minutes. Are we gonna do it?
I'm so done with this already.
He's so done that he's gonna make lots of videos.
Continue to make the focus, the obsession about the identities of these characters and not their actual character growth or development.
How do you know? You don't know what the context that they're gonna introduce. How do you know? Cringe Man.
Let
Look
it
at the
play
title.
through, Max. We gotta get through
Okay,
like
look
3
at his
minutes.
title. The MCU because white guy's bad. Oh my god. All right.
Other characters. Why do we need to continue to focus on the skin deep things when it comes to these characters? It blows my mind, and I'm so tired of it. I am
He
so
doesn't
sick
read
of
comics,
this, and
though.
Marvel is
He
This is
doesn't
proven.
sound
continuing to show
tired.
that this is the direction that they want to go in. That whole thing with Shuri replacing Black Panther would not surprise me in the least bit if that is the direction that they're going to go in with Black Panther. Once again, here
He doesn't
they
care about
replace
Black
Peter
I don't think
Parker
he cares
as-
about
with
Black
Miles
Panther.
Morales.
That's
I
my
don't think he
opinion.
does.
Because I don't think he cares. Why do you care? You care about the video. You don't care. You don't read comics. This is proven in my last video about Cringe Man bad. So, all right. Sorry. I'm trying to cut this
Miles
short because
would
we
not
got to get to
surprise me
Lung.
in the least
I
bit,
know.
especially since Peter Parker is a white male, a straight white male. And as we all know, that you can't be a more horrible human being than a straight white male in today's day and age, in at least according to the woke people in Hollywood and the mainstream media. So in a second, now deleted tweet asking what will happen with Carol Danvers, Rickman also added, Sam replaced Steve, Miles will replace Peter down the line, and Monica will replace her. Now, does this mean that this is exactly the direction that Marvel is going in the next year or so? Probably not, but this is inevitable. This is inevitable. All Marvel's going to continue to go because they have now been infected by the woke virus.
The woke
All that
virus.
Marvel's going to continue to go. The only thing they're going to continue to do is look at their characters and try to figure out how they can replace those characters with people who are more intersectional than they were previously. And we're going to get to the point. We're going to get to the point where
God,
we
I
have
hope so.
black trans midgets
Oh, see?
who are very, I don't know, who are disabled and who, I don't know. Like, that's the direction that we're going to continue
That's
to
an
go in
exaggeration.
as they continue to fall down the pit of intersectional identity politics. Little people, I should say. I'm not. But
He
anyway,
is fumbling
of
hard
course,
here.
none of this has been confirmed by.
He is fumbling hard.
I just like okay, so I just like don't even know where to start. Like
There's a lot wrong with this, I think.
hold on 1 second. Oh my god. Okay, so it's not that I like okay, I just lost track. I blacked out. I'm not even like I just like I couldn't like
Yes.
process.
This is identity politics pushed in the geek culture. This video. That's all it is. It's combining geek culture with politics.
Yeah, and I'm just like I'm so confused because I you know like it's just oh I'm so done. Oh I can't and it's just like
You're not done. You'll make another video about comics you don't read.
And it's like it just sounds like you're holding back laughter. It's just like I don't even think like you're taking yourself as seriously as like
No.
you know and like hold on. I'm trying to like look up this particular name. Hold on.
All right, we
Marvel
got it.
just yet. It won't be for a long, long while. But Daniel RPK has one of the best track records in the industry as far as scoops go. And besides, this isn't the first time we've heard that Miles will be introduced in the MCU. In fact, Holland himself has even voiced his enthusiasm for it happening on several occasions. And like I said, I don't, in the grand scheme of things, I don't really have a problem with this, but we all know why Marvel is doing it. And that's
Do
the
you
thing
know
that
why?
really-
You don't know why. You
Okay.
don't know why. You don't know why they're even considering it, or if this is actually a valid.
And I just
happened.
want to like jump back to the fact that he was just like, yep, and then the next stage is black trans like midgets.
yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, so where were these identity politics when like Peter Dinklage was making all of that money, you know, adding diversity as a, you know, little person to the main cast of Game of Thrones for how many seasons? I mean, was he cashing that like shill check of diversity or was he just hired to like I don't understand like why people freak out like
This type of content does really good for engagement.
if Marvel decides to make a comic about that, it honestly just sounds like like a nightclub that's on an LA strip that a lot of my friends go to. So if they want to make a like nightclub about like Black trans midgets that are working in a circus environment, you know what I'm saying, that just so happens to be a strip club and a nightclub, I would read the shit out of it because I guarantee that they're gonna flesh out the plot. But it's just like, I just don't understand like why people are so afraid that if there is a demand in society for people to want to pursue those things, then it's gonna appear, and like the worst thing that you can do is just not participate. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. You know what I'm saying? You
It's
can
not
just
everything. It's not every MCU movie
it's
either.
not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect that interpretation of the Avengers in the next 5 years. You know, so let's just calm down. Like, you know, it's just, this was the same panic that happened 2 years ago over the initial announcement of Ironheart and Riri's character.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but it's like, I'm sorry, like, to add like some reality and some perspective, you know, to that character's introduction into the MCU at that particular time. Black women, and I mean, you can go research this. I believe it was in 2016 when the comic was announced. But Black women statistically, I think they represented the majority of college graduates in that year. So it's not like there wasn't any like social relevancy. They literally, I think, represented somewhat close to 60, maybe 70% of college degrees in STEM related arenas. So who the fuck, I'm sorry, but who the French cares, you know, if they decide to like inject some, you know, like 19-year-old super genius that's, you know, competition for Tony Stark. It's relevant because it's already existing.
All right, we got to finish this video and then.
But we
pimp your channel. Pimp your channel, Boshti. I think you made some great points, and then respond to the Sci-Fi Dragon.
Oh yeah, you guys can find me on YouTube at Life Adjacent Podcast.
Yeah, and if you want her back, smash the hell out of the comments.
Or in the comments, yes.
And smash the hell out of her channel and say, get back to Max's channel.
Yes, please.
For this weekend woke. This might be a good series.
Leave cookies. I'll know it was related to this stream.
Irritates me is the reasoning for why Marvel is continuing.
You don't know the reason.
Why can't they just have Miles Morales be his own thing, be his own character in either the MCU and not replace what we have with Peter Parker? Why do we need to continue to replace these characters? Why can't Miles Morales just be his own character? Why can't he just be existing in
the whole title of this video is meant to get the political rage into Peter Parker and Tom Holland gets replaced by Miles Morales in the MCU because white guy's bad. He's making a definitive statement. He doesn't know. He doesn't even know it's going to happen.
Yeah, and
this is rage.
That was actually like acknowledged in the comments already, that it was just like none of this has been confirmed.
Right. Okay.
You know, universe as Peter Parker is. Or why can't they just keep him doing his own thing in the Spider-Verse? Like what he's doing over there.
Do his own thing over there.
The Spider-Verse was an amazing movie.
Yeah.
You know, why do we need to continue to replace?
Well, okay, say you love Spider-Man. They're never stopped making Spider-Man movies.
Right.
Sony is never stopped making Spider-Man movies or they lose the license. Give Miles Morales a shot, but I don't even think this is going to happen. I doubt this is going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, it would be cool, but it would be cool for reasons. I'm sorry, Bianca, I said United States. I said in the United States. I can't speak on like other countries or like statistically. And I said in the year 2016. So if you want to drop a link, linking your sources about saying that they're white, European, and Asian, go ahead and we can go ahead and continue that conversation on another channel. I said do not quote me because I did not have direct sources. So I'm just addressing you. So if you want to drop yours and we can continue this in the chat, let's go ahead. I'd love to have it. Moving forward, what were you saying?
I don't remember. Let's finish.
Exactly.
Already great established characters with more intersectional characters than before. Like I said, that's exactly why they're going to replace Black Panther T'Challa with Shuri, because she is more intersectional than he is. That's exactly why this is going to continue to happen. What isn't made clear here is when this will happen, but presumably Peter Parker won't be going anywhere for a while. That's kind of up for debate. Who knows? I mean, Tom Holland could be around for the next couple of years. He could be around for the next 5 years. It's hard to tell at this point. We'd imagined Holland has several more solo Spider-Man films left on his contract, along with appearances in team-up movies. But as we all know, with the disease of identity politics, that could all change. that could all change as Marvel continues to go down this path. So anyway, I hope you guys...
It's a disease. The last thing I'll say about this is I think the antis talk about it way more than the ones for it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I don't see this in the real world. I see this online and that's it. And there's imaginary SJWs that are just people on Twitter.
Like, I just don't get it. Like, because I volunteer. Like, I fit the, like, internet definition of, like, an SJW. Like, I volunteer. I actually am in the process of creating a mini series on my Instagram to kind of educate people about, like, different political philosophies. And we're kind of toying around with the idea of calling it Cute Femmes Explaining Socialism and just like other politically adjacent topics. So, it's just, I'm just tired of like the freak out. Can everybody just like not freak out about just like,
no, but then we'll lose our content for This Week in Woke.
Hold on. I'm trying to, let me catch up on comments here.
Well, we're gonna have to cut this short. Actually, we're just gonna go. We're gonna. Oh, okay.
I don't even want to listen to the rest of it because this is just the equivalent of like shock jock. Like none of it's founded. It's just this is okay. Like this is a really good example of the debate around free speech and monetized speech. You know what I'm saying? It's just like where is the line where we're just where we have to make people like or force platforms to essentially force creators to be a little more transparent about that. And that's where I'm going to end it. Cliffhanger. So let's just jump on to like...
Hey, I'll pop on your channel this week if you want to do continuation of this or tomorrow night. I don't know if you said you don't work tomorrow. I'll have to see. If you want, let me know. If you want to see Bashti cover this again, there was obviously good conversation coming back and forth. We could try to work that out.
Han's bad feeling. I would have to disagree. I'm sorry. I don't think that, free speech is free speech if you have an agenda, especially if you're paid for it. So, all right. I know. I'm sorry. We'll have many, but I'll be civil. I'll be a sweetie about it. Best believe it. We'll have cookies about it. It's fine.
All right, let's all go hop over to Lunga's channel and tell that binge buddy to take care of his back. let's go talk. Let's go over to Lunga's. All right.
Bye guys. Oh, and enjoy the game. Bye.